From Boston, in the ironically named Commonwealth of Massachusetts, deep behind enemy lines in the upper right-hand corner of the United States that we call New England, on the continent of North America, rotating at 900 miles an hour on the marble that is the Earth, rotating at 19 miles per second, the local star known as Sol, in the fashionable western spiral arm of the Milky Way galaxy, common dimension 616. It's Fido Live number 178.
Hello.
Well, good afternoon, Chief Colorist. It's a snowy day in Boston.
Yes, it is.
And I'd like to say the cartoonist called it.
Yes, you did.
The weather map.
A couple of months ago, but you called it nonetheless.
Yeah. Well, in fact, when we go through our favorite segment, what the Chief Colorist hath wrought, I'll point out that I'm planning on a lot of snow.
I know.
The Farmer's Almanac and Fido the comic strip both agree on a snowy winter in the Boston area. So this may be an abridged version of the show because I discovered Allulose. This is a sugar substitute that I put in my coffee. I only have pittance of like 5 cups of coffee in the morning and a couple more in the afternoon and another half dozen in the evening.
And I'm sorry, how many scoops of that stuff are you putting in?
Well, they recommend that it's 1-for-1 sugar substitute, and they call this a teaspoon. So I stopped using this because it really wasn't as sweet as I was used to my coffee being, and I started putting in heaping regular teaspoons. There we go. And I started putting in heaping teaspoons, and well, I think I discovered that this thing has a slight laxative ability. And the reason why we may be cutting this short is because the past couple of days I've gone through a mess that Boston has not seen since the Molasses tank explosion in 1919.
Oh,
injures 15, kills 11. Some people say in the old neighborhood where this happened, you could still smell it.
No.
The great Monkfruit explosion in Fido Studios. Some people say some people say you can still smell it.
And I'm one of those some people.
So this goes into the garbage.
Literally.
Well, all opinions and views are solely those of the comic strip Fido. In fact, not necessarily those of the completely uncancelable and valued employee, creator, and handsome man about town, Charles Lincoln Croce III, who himself has actually no opinions on anything. Now, amidst aromatic clouds of fragrant secondhand smoke, today we might actually get some work done, but don't hold me to it. Depends upon the Allulose, the Monkfruit. We shall start this week with everyone's favorite segment, What the Chief Colorist Hath Wrought, a weekly segment that challenges the vows of a 20-year marriage.
So where are we getting that this is everyone's favorite? Do we have proof behind that? No, I'm sorry. I'm just speaking out loud here for a second.
Well, we have tomorrow. This is tomorrow, Monday the 15th. Bo, Cat Boss and me are on a tropical island. When I drew this, I figured we'd have a azure sky and a blue sea, and she sort of muted the colors there, and then like all different flowers of different shapes, and she painted them all the same color. Yeah. Usually, I guess the chair would have like white top and bottom, but she decided yellow.
Would be white top and bottom?
The top. That these are like lounge chairs, which she went for purple, which
okay.
I guess is,
white is something you keep telling me not to leave on the page.
Like the snow.
I know. Well, snow.
Snow in Boston is not white.
That's true.
I can look out the window right now and prove that.
That's true.
It's more molasses colored.
Why didn't you tell me when I was doing this?
It's already been recorded. Too late.
No, when I was actually doing it, you see it.
So we just sit here until the holidays are over? How will they get along at home without us? Do you really care? And meanwhile, at home, Fido and Dino, why are we living in the bar now? Only Bogash paid the bills. But this place doesn't have a roof. But it has beer. So there's that one, and it goes away. Here's the Tuesday. Cat Boss and Bogash. It is good to get out of the city and relax. The pressures of supervillainy have just melted away. Yeah, what are you doing? Oh, I bought the tiki bar. I figured since we spend all of our time here, I might as well. I think this is becoming a nasty habit of mine. He bought the bar, scratching post, because the henchmen kept on hanging out, hung out there all the time. Well, here we go for the Tuesday. Here is the Wednesday. We're back at the bar. Jane, Fido, and Dino. Jane asks Dino, "Where's Bogash? He's not taking care of his dog." I think he's on a secret mission. No doubt, right now, he's doing something dangerous. I hope he's being careful. Be careful, you're going to spill my drink. As he's tossing a beach ball on the beach, kicking sand into Cat Boss's shell. All right, here is the Friday, the Thursday that will never be seen. This is the last time it'll ever appear on camera, because it violates a lot of the standards and practices, such as they are in Fido the comic strip. But I did do the finished penciling, so at least it's somewhat visible on the camera. We have Mia saying, I noticed that all the ones we cut out generally is Mia. Mia like loses a lot of her dialogue. Mia says, "I've never been to a beach before. We didn't have vacations like this in North Korea. You can sit down and enjoy yourself. Sit down and enjoy myself? I've never multitasked before either," as she sits on Bo's lap.
Oh.
Yeah, a little provocative. We can't have any of that. So this Thursday was originally meant to be the Friday in the bar. Now it's Thursday in the bar. We have just about the entire cast. Is Felicia, Dino, Closet Cat, our hero Fido, and Jane. And Dino explains, "Bogash pays all the bills. We don't have anything at home. No heat or electricity. No, we still got that. There's no beer. You could just bring all this stuff home." And as Dino is looting the bar with the cats, "You're supposed to be the smart one. I'm spending too much time with him." Sitting in a frozen bar with their coats on. So here's the Friday now, and well, I guess it still works. Friday in the bar, at least in the first panel. Jane's on the phone with Bo, as Dino's still looting the bar. Dino says you're on a secret mission. Yeah, secret. I hope it's not dangerous. Mia, put your bikini top back on. No, I'm not in danger until you get home. I guess you heard that.
I pre-laughed because I already knew what the.
Well, yeah, you colored it.
Yeah.
Well, and Saturday, always the Saturday will foreshadow what's going to happen the following week. And everyone's at home. There's Dino and Fido and his Closet Cat. And Closet Cat has a bandage on his face. Fido asks, "Why the bandage?" "You can't talk?" Wow, now this I like. Think we can get Felicia to do this? And he's written on a clipboard, "I had a whisker transplant." So is that next week's? Have we forgotten that Bo's on the beach? I guess so. Next week, this is December 22nd, so we're getting close to Christmas. And Closet Cat has 4 whiskers now. I probably should explain that I've had trouble keeping track. 1 whisker on the left, 2 on the right. And then Felicia had 3 on the left and 4 on the right. So I just screw it now. Now there's 2 whiskers and 3 whiskers. I've evened it out. It sort of works now that Felicia is a new color. Yeah, it works. I got a whisker implant. It cost $10,000, but I always felt off balance in the whisker department. Who donated the whisker? Wow, what happened last night? That catnip you gave me was strong. I just thought we're a couple of weeks ahead in the writing, and I still haven't done the joke where Bo realizes that the $10,000 that Closet Cat spent came out of Bo's bank account. Still haven't done that joke.
Well, it takes him a while.
So Bo's at the beach still. This is the 23rd. Then we're getting the day before Christmas Eve. Don't worry, Bogash. I'll get you home in time for Christmas. I've just called my private plane, and it will be here within the hour. Gee, thanks, Cat Boss. Unless the U.S. military shoots it down, then Then we go for the backup plan. Oh, what's that? How are you at training reindeer to fly? And he's got a sleigh with reindeer. And look, she did do it. I knew she couldn't resist. She put a red nose on that reindeer.
That's right. That's right. Of course I did. Was there ever a doubt?
Have we even recorded that one? No, we haven't. Yeah, that's why I haven't seen it before. Now, this is them in the airport. And finally, we have Mia, who's able to say lines. I'm sorry your plane was shot down. I cannot fly commercial. We thought of that. I told them I have a fear of flying, and you're my comfort animal. I can do that. Don't worry, this plane will not crash in a horrible fiery ball. All is well, you stupid humans.
Yeah, that's comforting.
Comforting. You know, pet carriers are very rarely green.
I'm done.
White,
I'll be
white or
seeing you
gray.
I'll be seeing you afterwards.
So here is
Have
Christmas.
fun.
Yeah, Christmas Eve in the airport, Christmas. And finally get the entire cast in it. We have Mia Bosun dressed as a Christmas tree. Cat Boss is dressed as Santa, traditional this year, I suppose. And later on, we have Dino, Jane, Felicia, Closet Cat, and Fido. So the entire cast. We go up there, give them all Christmas gifts, and it's happy holidays all around. Oh, come on, you're not going to tell me you did not enjoy a week away from them in the middle of the winter on a tropical island. If they ever find out, I don't want to think what would happen. And they hear all this because they're making a lot of noise in the hallway. And Fido offers Jane his golf club. I usually knock down the Christmas tree every year, but you can do it this year. Every year, Fido knocks down the Christmas tree and opens all the gifts. That's sort of been a running joke. But now
Now he's gonna knock down Bo.
well, she is. She gets to.
Well, yeah, she is. Yeah.
And here is the Friday after Christmas, Boxing Day, as it were, where you get back to work and everything. And the cat boss has returned to work. Oh, well, as far as vacations go, that was pleasant. But back to being the world's most feared supervillain. Anybody know what happened to the alcohol? And there's Dino at home with all the alcohol surrounding him, passed out. Fido, Felicia, and Closet Cat. Kegs of beer, cases of beer, everything. Probably should keep the apartment like that, shouldn't I? A little bit extra work for the chief colorist. All right, here is the Saturday. Chief colorist has not finished this one. Now, a while ago, long before I came up with the whole idea of the tropical island, I figured for Christmas we would do. I already figured out what their Christmas gifts were going to be. Hey, where are you? Of course, I probably haven't. This is the book where we write the comic strip. There we go. A while ago, I did this. This doesn't suck. Felicia has a shirt. I only have 9 lives. Fido's got a coat, beware of dogs, and Felicia and the Closet Cat is feed the cat. So that's what they've got for Christmas. Fido asks, "What'd you get for Christmas?" And Felicia has, "You only have 9 lives." As Closet Cat has, "I feed the cat." Oh, nice, that's appropriate. Look what I got. Beware of dog. The only problem is the warning's on the back of the jacket, and people only see it as I'm running away. So this one goes back to the chief colorist to finish. Get to work. Here is the Monday, the 29th. Now, let's see. I'm planning on snow. We're predicting snow Monday, the 29th in Boston. Let's see what happens. We've just done the finished penciling on this. We could ink this today. I put the snowflakes in first because they have to pop. So any background and characters themselves go beneath the snowflakes, like layer upon layer upon layer. Bo, Fido, Felicia. I've been thinking, beware of dog doesn't quite cover all that is me. And takes off the jacket as they're crossing the street. My own little reverse homage to the Beatles Abbey Road. They're going that way. My folks are going that way. That beetle is on the wrong side of the road and up on the sidewalk still. So I did that. And even the lamps that point that way, my lamps point the opposite direction, opposite way. So it's my own little Abbey Road, but backwards. So as they cross the street, Fido's looking at his jacket. And he says, I think I need a bigger jacket. Now, there is that Monday. We could ink that today. We might not. Calling up my Abbey Road one. Okay, here is Tuesday, the 30th. They're walking in the park. I'm concerned this jacket's not doing its job. Fido, you went around for years with no warning whatsoever. That was an unfair thing to do, huh? Felicia says, I don't need a warning label. People know what they're getting with a cat. And I did an error here. I made the arrow, the speaking arrow, go to Fido instead of Felicia. So I whited out the closed part, put a new arrow in. And now what am I going to do with this arrow? Well, I got a tree in the background. Maybe I can do bark in the tree.
It'll be a branch.
In such a way. No, I'll just do bark in the tree in such a way that it'll cover up that word arrow. If we do inking today, that's something we can demonstrate how to fix a fuck up. All right, here is the Wednesday, 31st of January, last day of 2025. Fido goes into a restaurant with two people having dinner. It looks like she has a salad. He's a hamburger and french fries. Excuse me, sir. I wanted to alert you to what's written on the back of my jacket. Beware of dog. Are you going to bite me? No, I'm just taking your hamburger, but this absolves me of any fault, as you were warned. Well, that one's actually inked. I just have to do the erasures, and I can give this to the chief colorist. And here is the January 1st, the first day of 2026. We just did the rough penciling last night, so you people at home can't see a thing, so I'll just describe it to you. Fido says, it's the end of the year. Closet Cat says, oh no, I don't want to die. Aww. Felicia says, no, stupid, it's the start of the new year, January 1st. Oh, phew, that was a close one. Yeah, this joke actually has a history to it. When I was a little boy, say 4, 5 years old, maybe around 4 years old, my older sisters were all excited because it was the end of the year. And I started crying. And they said, what's your problem? I said, I don't want to die.
Aww.
No, dummy, it's the end of the school year. No, I didn't get it. So there we go. That's the origin of that joke. So it looks like we're probably going to be doing inking today. And hey, here's an idea. I want to get the brush used to inking. We'll do the panels here. And by the time we're done with the panels, we should be ready to go in and ink one of these suckers. And we don't quite know how long we're going to be here because the monk fruit and Allulose might kick in at any moment.
Which is why I thought you would have done penciling.
Rather than have the chance of an ink spill, huh?
In more ways than one, yeah.
Okay, as you all know, cartoonists are the dirtiest, filthiest creatures on the face of the planet. So I have to wear this, a glove, to keep me from getting this page any more dirty than it already is. You can see it's already pretty well dirty. But a lot of that.
If you ever see something that's supposed to be yellow and it has like a tinge into it.
What could that tinge possibly be, Chief Colors?
I have no idea. It could be, I don't know, smoke, ash.
How's that possible?
I have no idea.
All right. Let's get to work here. Where are our brushes? Here we go. Everyone remembers the famous Himalayan tree squirrel pubic hair brush that we used to use in the past. I usually just use it for borders now, but since we're trying to condition the brush to do the characters, we'll put that aside, and we're going to use our new radioactive alien tree squirrel, fresh from Roswell, New Mexico.
Much harder to find the Sherpas to go get it.
Well, you cannot get any more of these black pubic hair tree squirrels until the aliens invade. Very few people knew that the grays were actually black squirrels. The grays, the famous aliens from the... never mind. Well, let's we need a ruler. And where's our ink? good question. Gotta be around. Oh, here it is, under a glove. Of course, we're using the ink from Blick's Black Cat waterproof India ink until such a time as the cartoonist is able to find something better. I'm going to tighten the cap a little bit just so I can give a shape to it, because this ink needs to be mixed. In the old days, I would put the back of the brush in there and stir it, but I don't want to do it to this brush. It's too nice. It's too pretty.
Too pretty.
For some reason, I'm saving this plastic shield as if I'm ever going to put it back on there, but it's there.
Yeah.
You put that on there to protect the pubic hairs. But every once in a while, you catch one, and then you always have one pubic hair sticking out. It's really annoying. So I'm not going to put it on. Let's get to work doing some borders, and we don't need to put down a protective piece of paper just yet until we start doing the characters. So we won't get into any commentary, and we won't even have to bother to zoom in on the camera. That's going to leave the camera where it is,
which makes things easier for Irving.
Yeah, I think he's passed out anyway. Irvin, the shaky cameraman. And I've demonstrated many times how you do how do you do a straight line with a brush. You obviously can't put the ruler to the paper, because you'll just get ink on your ruler, which you don't want. I gotta clean that up. You just get ink on your ruler, which you don't want. Instead, flip it over and put your ruler on an edge and run the finial of the brush against the edge of the ruler. What's great about the human eye is it can judge parallels rather well. Just by looking at it, I can tell that line is parallel to my border right there. Set the brush down, and we just made a straight line.
Woohoo!
And since it's a hand-drawn thing, I'd like to make it as human-looking as possible. So I can start light, start heavy, go a little bit light, finish heavy, whatever variation I feel like doing, just to make me happy. And why
are we here?
Why are we here, folks?
To make you
me happy. The message of Fido the comic strip is: do not do anything that does not make you happy. And we are just here to be happy people, because the world is full of miserable cocksuckers.
Mm-hmm.
Not necessary for you to become one of them. And we'll get to miserable cocksuckers later on. a little bit of foreshadowing there, ladies and gentlemen. That's the sign of quality in your Fido the comic strip live shows.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And it looks like the brush is doing great. I didn't even have to re-dip in there. It's holding ink and everything. This brush might be ready to ink characters. And bingo. Now that ink is extremely wet and can smear at any moment. I'm going to take that and put it someplace safe where it will never touch human hands until it dries. Let's do the Abbey Road one. What the hell? Now, I'm going to have Irving on camera one zoom in here a little bit closer. Yeah, great work there, Irving. Now, even it out a bit. Very good, very good, very good. So, I had mentioned miserable individuals. We have James Gunn. Now, I'm going to explain why I believe Mr. Gunn is a miserable individual at this moment. We all know that his new film, Supergirl, oh, not that one, this one is coming out. By the way, I had to do even more editing on this because I had not noticed that she wasn't wearing pants. So we treated with our first trailer, somewhat, of Supergirl. Not that Supergirl, obviously, but she's not dressed like that. For some reason, she's wearing a trench coat, and which everyone on the internet says, "Wow, looks a lot like Star Lord. Wow, this looks a lot like Guardians of the Galaxy." And I have to salute Mr. Gunn because he did not write or direct this film, yet it looks like one of his films. Good job, Mr. Gunn. So,
You did it.
so the Supergirl teaser trailer, I was gonna play it here, but he's got the Blondie "Call Me" from the American Gigolo song. Again, James Gunn's habit is to pull some pop song from from his childhood and play it. So if I were to have played his trailer, we probably would get copyright struck, and I think that's part of his plan. You can't criticize his trailer now because you can't play it on YouTube without getting struck.
Ah.
See, he's getting clever. So I guess the tagline here is truth, justice, and whatever. And I have to say at this point, it must be superhero fatigue because the great James Gunn cannot make two bad films in a row. But we got this drunken hot mess of a woman. Used to be this, and
Yeah, that's a
now
little surprising to me. that
now
they're
it's
making her into a drunken
Millie
hot
Alcott. Mm. You can't even say her name. I had to put pasties. I had to put post-it notes here, and I originally put like pasties underneath here, but so much of her was being shown, I had to put bigger post-it notes to cover. I can't believe this is a cover of Harper's.
Oh yeah, Harper's, yeah. Harper's is yeah.
I mean, this would be the Playboy cover. Yeah, when we were.
Women's magazines are getting interesting.
Yeah. But well, Millie's showing her Alcott. What can I say? So James is perhaps going to be a little bit of a edgelord. That's just the way he is. We saw Peacemaker, where it opened with a orgy and then drug use, and this was a must-watch thing. So he said, he has it tied into the entire DC cinematic universe. It's a backup for a PG Superman film that underperformed. I haven't seen it yet. I'm not sure if I ever will, though, because I don't know what cable network it's going to, and I'm not going to pay-per-view it because I've heard it underperformed, which is kind of upsetting because you don't want superhero fatigue to be true.
Mm-hmm.
But they're making it true.
No, it's fatigue.
I'm
for
dreading.
movies.
I am dreading what's going to happen with Marvel's Doomsday, the $600 million project, because I do not believe it can possibly make its money back. There are not as many theaters as there used to be, even back when the Avengers first came out. People are not going to theaters because, well, here's a little secret here. Theaters suck. The floors are sticky. People are loud and smelly and have to munch on their popcorn and talk on their phones. Plus, let's not even talk about the potential danger of going out there in public. We're not just saying, colds and flus, and I'm talking about bullets.
Right.
I'm talking bullets.
You can't say that, you'll get demonetized.
We're not monetized anyway. No one's listening. No one's listening to this.
You don't tell people that you're not monetized.
For some strange reason, they're always the AI can catch it when I show a titty, but they never catch it when they should demonetize me. I don't care because I'm really not trying to run a YouTube channel. I'm just trying to draw a comic strip.
Well, I guess demonetize isn't the right thing. You don't want to get in trouble.
I do this show just to promote the comic strip. I was told if I built a internet audience, it'd help get this thing syndicated. Yeah, we'll do the buttons. wasn't sure about the buttons here because they look too much like snowflakes.
Aw.
We do standard straight leg walk. Call this my Beetle Bailey walk. Now you see why I did the snowflakes beforehand, where you can just put the snowflake in front. I draw on the character behind the snowflake. Draw the snowflake behind the snowflake. Well, this will be we'll call this the shortened Fido show because I'm not quite sure how long I can go until the monk fruit kicks in.
Gee, I think we have the title already.
What's that?
I don't know how long it can go until the monk fruit kicks in.
We'll show the great molasses flood.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, let's get Millie Alcock off the page. We're going for the great molasses tank explosion of 1919. Let's see, January 16th, 1919. The Boston Daily Globe, 16 pages. You know, it had a lot more pages when I delivered. I used to deliver the Boston Globe when I was a very, very, very young kid and should not have been out on the street at 5, 6 in the morning. But my father thought we should all have jobs. And, well, I had a piece of my sister's paper route. Let's see. Order your used car, tires, tools, and other. Yeah, they used to do an eBay like advertising thing. That's where they made a lot of their money. 2 cents. Wow.
2 cents for what?
For the paper, Boston
Oh,
Globe.
wow,
1919.
really?
Yeah, it used to be.
Oh, excuse me.
They probably had a lot of trouble when they doubled their price from a penny.
Probably.
I remember when they went from 25 to 50 cents. That's how old I am.
Yep. I remember 35 to 50 for the Herald. That was part of my job, actually, in the libraries. I had to buy the daily newspapers.
Yeah. All right, Fido says, I've been thinking. So we have to have the eyes wide and bright, ears perked. And let's see, this jacket he's wearing is sort of like a windbreaker. So it's got the elastic bits around the collar and the sleeve right there. Do a little bit of and there's the pocket flap. Now, does dog fashion mimic human fashion where there's
Sure.
5 buttons, 3, 4? Yes, I guess so. And he doesn't bother buttoning it because he's going to take it off later on. I used to never button my jacket when I was a kid. Yeah, that was middle of the winter. Light jacket.
Could be worse. You could be one of those sweatshirt and shorts person, New Englander, in the winter.
Or even worse, the guy, the real human being who Dino is based on, actually went through an entire New England winter without a jacket, just with a sweatshirt. And it wasn't out of poverty or any.
There was no
There was
practical reason.
no practical reason. Just couldn't get his act together long enough to go out and buy a jacket. All right, now we remember that Felicia has 3 whiskers. Yes, on both sides. 1, 2, 3. I'm just going to make them look like they're cold. How do you make whiskers look cold?
Little icicles.
Like that. Ooh, a little icicle. I hadn't thought of that. Yeah. Too late. I just made them look a little bit shaky.
Yeah, that's true too. That's a way too.
And she's got a big Russian fur cap with ear flaps. Be sure to show the snowflake in front. Now, here is the, what do you call those things? Whatever, strap. Knotted her scarf, and it's just nice and pretty. There's a scarf. Neck. And let's not forget the mouth. Now she's wearing a really stiff quilted jacket. That's why her arms are stuck out there, because she can't put them down. A joke we made last week. Might as well carry it on.
Mm-hmm.
When I was a kid, I had one of these thick quilted winter, we call it Arctic jacket. It was a bit of an overkill for the winter we had that year. See, so much of this stuff is just drawn from my childhood.
Aww.
You get to get a special little peek into the life of a young man growing up in the greater Boston area. I grew up in Everett. And let's not forget Felicia's tail, which is coming down the coat. So it just goes down there and off there. I'm not going to see it till later. And there we go. First panel done. Wow, we got a lot of work done already.
Cute.
Scene of ruin and desolation in the North End after destruction of Purity Distilling Company tank.
Purity distilling, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Tank.
what you get for trying to be pure.
And nearby structures. Yeah. Death and devastation in wake of North End disaster. Buildings demolished. Sticky mass floods the streets. Loss of $500,000. Back then, that was a money. That was a lot of money.
That was a lot of.
Red Cross women, firemen, and sailors do heroic work in aiding victims. List of the dead. Dead North
List of the dead.
Yeah, they got a list of the dead here, and the rest of the stuff you really can't read.
Yeah.
So yeah, the scene in the bathroom after the after the monk fruit kicked in was pretty rough.
Okay, I think you've described it well enough. I think that everybody's got a good picture, especially me.
I highly recommend that everyone avoid monk fruit with Allulose as their sweetener. Not only is it not particularly sweet,
I know that's the weirdest part.
but it causes massive stomach cramps.
Yeah, that's the weirdest part because I agree it was not that sweet, which is unusual for the artificial sweeteners.
I thought I might have had a stomach flu or something like that. I wasn't quite sure what it was about. It was the chief colorist who was brilliant enough to say, "Is that friggin' sweetener you've been using?" Okay, I'm thinking when Fido says, "Beware of dog," doesn't quite cover it all. We'll put Bo's eyes down like, oh, okay, here we go. I want to listen to this shit. Gotta get the proper look on his face. He's been dealing with this dog long enough.
I have Christmas carols in my head.
Yeah. We're not going to get much done this week. I think it's almost time. We do a live reenaction of the molasses tank explosion in the North End.
Oh my, oh my.
And I'm not going to ask everyone here at home to wait. I'm just going to end the broadcast.
Wow.
How long have we been going? 39 minutes? I think we can make 40 minutes. Let me think here with his wrist. It's got to go. Got to taper this way.
Don't chance it, though.
Well, I hear the molasses flood when they cleaned it up in the North End. It was quite a mess. Fortunately, we have a bidet.
This is true. All right. I really do think at this point you're giving way too much information.
Show me someone who doesn't have a bidet, and I'll show you someone with a dirty butt.
Yes.
Hmm.
Seriously, though, they are more cheaper. They are cheaper than I thought they would be, and they're definitely something that I'm surprised more places don't have.
Now, I'm thinking here, Fido's like turned his back and then spread his arms, but it doesn't quite read that way. His arms are still in the jacket. Ugh. You know, this is a major problem. We got a cartooning problem going on here. Let's get the pencil back out. See, his arms aren't that long, and they would go up here. Actually, when you think about it. Yeah, this is a mess. I'm gonna have to get in there and fix all this. I'm thinking that has to come up. I've already done this, so we'll just do stretch marks like that. Show that he's stretching this. This pencil doesn't really want to erase. But you see what I'm talking about here? It's got to show his shoulder and the arm going, making the proper movement. That arm is much too long. Wow, yeah, that's a... Oh, well, I guess he's really stretching his arms. We're calling this the Molasses tank explosion of 1919.
No, of 2025.
Molasses. You know, I've never wrote molasses before. Molasses. The molasses. Wow, I hadn't even realized to this point that there's a double entendre there.
Oh. TMI.
They're calling it the molasses explosion. Double entendre meant. Thank you for watching this abridged version of Fido Live, number 178. We hope to get a lot more work done next week and hope to be a lot healthier next week.
Goodbye, everybody.
Yeah, goodbye to you guys in the closed room. And goodbye to you too.